Hello, Shrunkle Spurt here, and drip-proof pants at the ready because it's time to review another Huawei MatePad tablet. The MatePad 11.5S has been refreshed for 2026 with all the usual SmartOS accessory support and a gorgeous soft light screen which is perfect for outdoor play. Particularly good news if you happen to be obsessed with shonky app gallery shenanigans. Now the MatePad 11.5S 2026 will cost you £450, so it's a bit more expensive than the previous generation, not exactly budget. Let's check it out and see if it's actually worth that cash, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe, ding that old notifications bell. Cheers! Right, now first of all, let's get rid of all the clutter so we can actually see the tablet. And as usual, quite an attractive wee bugger, so an 11.5 inch display, hence the name. You got pleasingly skinny bezels surrounding that screen, so not much added girth. But the good news is, even if your thumbs happen to stray onto that display, it's smart enough to realise just a bit of accidental touch, and everything remains perfectly responsive. It's a pretty slender wee bugger, just over 6mm thick, if you don't include the camera bump that is, but it's reasonably dinky to be fair, and weighs a gopher's gonad over half a kilo, so I certainly found the MatePad 11.5S was comfortable to clutch one-handed while doing a bit of reading or web browsing or whatever. You got yourself a solid, durable metal unibody finish here. Huawei says it's a sand-blasted anodized design. Sounds suitably swanky. It basically just means it's got this matte finish which is thankfully reasonably resistant to fingerprint grease and smudgy nastiness. Wasn't even undone with a proper bit of greasy Kimonon and Bindi Baji action at the weekend. And I've got to say, I really love this field green colour that you can grab the MatePad 11.5S in. It looks so minty fresh, I just kind of want to lick it. But then my hands have been all over it, and I know where my hands have been, so I'm going to refrain. But hey, you can also grab the Huawei MatePad 11.5S in space grey if you're a boring twat. Do note, however, there's bugger all water resistance, at least there's no official IP rating, so you'll want to try not to get it too wet. Now to actually switch on and start using the Huawei MatePad 11.5S 2026 edition, you've got a good bit of face unlock action to recognise that it's you, and thankfully this works really well even in CAC Lite, which is probably just as well because there's bugger all fingerprint sensor action. It's pretty much standard these days. And of course, yes, you've got the usual excellent keyboard cover. You slap this on your MatePad 11.5S like so, magnetically attaches and just helps to protect it when you're on the move. And then when you want to use the tablet, you just unfurl it like so, helps to prop it up. And of course adds a proper physical keyboard, which is really good. Really good as far as keyboard covers go. I should add that little asterisk. As you can see there, the keys stretch almost edge to edge. As usual, things do get a wee bit crushed up over here on the right edge. You've got a dinky wee single row enter key, tiny little cursor keys, etc. It's a good enough size that it's comfortable to type on for, an hour, 2 hours at a time. You've got a surprising amount of travel when you strike those keys as well for such a skinny keyboard cover. There's just the usual foibles, like there's bugger all backlighting, so you are basically just relying on the glow from the screen if you're trying to work at night in the dark, or do whatever else at night in the dark. That's your prerogative. Now the keyboard cover actually connects to the MatePad 11.5S via a pogo pin connection here at the bottom, but you do have Huawei's usual Neuralink technology, so you can wirelessly use the keyboard when it's disconnected. So for instance, we can search for the Spurt Hole channel, and there I am with a massive sausage and beer in my face. That's some quality highbrow entertainment right there. And of course, you've got Huawei's usual M Pencil stylus support. This is the M Pencil Pro, as you saw there, and it briefly flashed up on the screen. Immediately starts charging wirelessly when you slap it on this top right edge. And as usual, this is fantastic for any creative tasks, for a bit of sketch and drawing, whatever. Not that I have any particular talent. This right here is a Uncle Spurt original. Supposed to be a happy wee dog. Actually turned out to be something straight out of Silent Hill, but hey-ho. You can change up the nib to suit whatever you're up to, be it writing, sketching, whatever. Though some of the nibs do have to be purchased separately from the stylus. You don't get them all just bundled in the box. You've got various shortcuts, so you can give the Stylus Pro a quick squeeze in order to bring up this little quick panel here for quickly cutting, sampling a color, etc. The quick panel will intelligently adapt to whatever app you're using at the time. So for instance, here in Google Chrome, you can quickly annotate the screen if you want to. Pinch gesture, fully customizable in the stylus settings. Of course, you can adjust the sensitivity, etc. You do get a bit of haptic feedback when you successfully pinch as well, although it is rather light. And you've also got various other shortcuts you can play around with. So for instance, the button at the end by default will bring up the Notes app. But again, all of that fully customizable. Now, the MatePad 11.5S is of course a Huawei tablet, which means, yeah, bugger all Google shenanigans. So by default, you are reliant on the likes of the app gallery to actually download apps onto this tablet, which isn't quite as well stocked as the likes of the Google Play Store. You can of course use Petal's search to try and find any APKs for any apps that aren't available on the app gallery. Of course, as always, I would say exercise caution when downloading APKs. I mean, thankfully the MatePad does full virus screening and everything before you install stuff, but you know, some bad stuff lurking on the old internet, and I'm not talking about your mum's OnlyFans channel. Primo content, that is. But you may have noticed I do actually have some Google apps on here, the likes of Google Chrome, YouTube, and I've managed to download the likes of Sky Sports. You just got to jump through a couple of hoops to get this stuff on there. It's all clearly documented on Huawei's community pages. I basically installed MicroG, and then this in turn allowed me to install the Aurora Store, which is basically a German alternative to the Google Play Store with more of a focus on privacy. And then you've essentially got access to the full Android catalog. If you spot anything that you want to install, just give it a tap. As usual, the MatePad will scan it for threats and everything, and then you can just get it installed. Now, if we swipe into the old apps tree, as you can see, I've installed quite a few bits from this, but now we've got good old iPlayer on there as well. And as always, a wee bit of crapware stuffed on here, some rubbish games, booking.com, etc. We do also have the excellent Go Paint app if you want to knock up beautiful creations like this and haunt the dreams of everyone who watches it on YouTube. And the Huawei Notes app has also been updated. It's got more stickers, more customization, etc. It can also convert handwriting into text now, although if your handwriting's as bad as mine, it might struggle. I found that multitasking certainly works better on other tablets, but it's okay here. Basically, just drag your finger out from the edge to pull up this little apps column. You can then grab other apps which can pop out as a floating window. It's quite handy if you want to watch a video while getting on with other tasks or whatever. You can of course get a proper bit of split screen action on the go if you want. I do prefer the likes of Open Canvas and OxygenOS for instance, but it works alright here. Now, as far as I'm aware, Huawei is debuting a fresh new bit of display tech here in the MatePad 11.5S 2026 edition. It's its fresh new soft light screen, as it's termed. Now, this has a similar anti-glare, anti-reflective effect to the excellent PaperMatte displays slapped on some of Huawei's other tablets. But apparently it's lower cost tech to shave a bit of money off that price. As you can see there, it still has a serious impact, so it's currently under the fierce glare of my studio lights. The screen brightness currently on quite a low setting, so as you can see there, you can still boost it all the way up for even greater clarity. But yeah, even on that lower brightness level, absolutely no issues whatsoever, even despite the fact it's quite a bright environment. Anyway, this 11.5-inch panel sports a 3:2 aspect ratio, so pretty good for multitasking, reading, etc. Not quite so good for your cinematic shenanigans. You will have to pinch in if you want to go full screen, and then there's quite a bit of cropping at the sides. But it's 2800 by 1840 pixel resolution, so crispy visuals. And it's not OLED tech, but you get respectable contrast here and nice punchy poppy colors too. You got your pick of normal or vivid here in the display settings. Not to mention a good bit of eye comfort shenanigans as well. Just to help filter that blue light, although the matte finish makes for a more comfortable viewing experience in general anyway. And it's only good news as far as the audio is concerned as well, because you've got a quad speaker setup here with a bit of Histon 9 audio fine tuning. Let's bump up the old volume and check it out. I love the suitably Halloweeny decor, perfect for an October booze fest. Although the scariest thing here was just how difficult I found it to actually get out of the egg chairs, thanks to a combination of my knackered old knees and my alcohol-soaked brain. So it's not only loud, it's also proper punchy, got a respectable amount of bass for such a skinny wee bugger. There is bugger all headphone jack on the MatePad 11.5S, unfortunately, so it is Bluetooth or dongles all the way. Thankfully, Bluetooth works fine. As for the performance, well, Huawei, as usual, has been super secretive about what actual chipset is stuffed in here running the show for whatever reason. It's a Kirin chipset of its own device that it made itself, and it's backed by 12 gigs of RAM. Now, thanks to the Aurora Store, I did actually manage to get Wuthering Waves installed here on the Huawei MatePad 11.5S 2026, but unfortunately, because there's no actual Google services running on here, I couldn't sign into my Wuthering Waves account, which I usually do via Google. So good thing then that Huawei's app gallery is absolutely packed to the tits with wall-to-wall bangers like Mobile Bus Simulator, the perfect tonic when you get those sudden cravings to pilot a double-decker around a creepily deserted low-resolution city. Marvel at the cutting-edge physics which make it feel like you're driving a slab of concrete on roads made of custard. Panic slightly as your bus somehow gets locked in reverse when you're trying to pick up passengers. And then rage quit as you get fined for jumping a red light despite the complete lack of any actual police presence. Otherwise, there's always Titan's Evolution Simulator, a game which sounds like it'll have you fighting monsters inside of a giant mech or something, but which actually just appears to be yet another buggy GTA ripoff, complete with those wonderful ads that pop up literally every 15 seconds with f***all warning. You'll be literally begging for the city's one policeman to shoot you dead so you don't have to watch anymore. And you got Wi-Fi 6 support here, not the latest freshest Wi-Fi 7, so not entirely future-proof, but I had absolutely bugger all issues with the networking side of things. All my apps downloaded nice and swift, including that massive Get Wuthering Waves. Huawei has stuffed an 8,800 mAh capacity battery into that skinny chassis. Not the biggest for this sort of size of tablet by any means, but I found pretty decent returns. We're talking roughly 9 to 10 hours of mixed use from a full charge. That's with a bit of web browsing, bit of reading, bit of video streaming, all that good stuff. And that's also while it's hooked up to the keyboard, of course, which does draw power from the tablet too. And no worries if you need to juice it up in a jiffy as well, because you've got 66 watt fast charging support, although I believe the adapter bunged in the box is merely 40 watts. And the Huawei MatePad 11.5S sports an 8 megapixel front-facing camera for all of your video chat style shenanigans, etc. This can capture you at full HD resolution at 30 frames per second. Not the widest angle camera in the world, as you can see there. But it's absolutely fine. It's not too perturbed by strong background light or anything. The mics do a pretty decent job of picking up your voice. And then around back you also have a 13 megapixel camera for some reason. You might want to use that to scan a document or something, I guess. Maybe, who knows. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a tasty wee nutshell is the fresh new Huawei MatePad 11.5S 2026. A nifty wee tablet, as always, boasting some excellent smart accessory support. Love that keyboard, and if you're a bit more creative than your Uncle Spurt, you might really get a kick out of that stylus as well. I really love that soft light screen as well. The anti-glare finish, perfect for outdoor use. Beefy bit of audio and everything too. It's just a shame that the software side of things, obviously not really a match for rivals from the likes of OnePlus, Samsung, etc. But anyway, that's what this hairless northern knacker reckons. Be great to hear your thoughts on the Huawei MatePad 11.5S 2026 down below. Please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers, everybody. Love you.